Hello and welcome to the Asian and Caucasian Show. I'm Matt, and over the last 6 months, I've been living in Vietnam, and over the last 9 years, I think I've traveled here about 8 or 9 times with my wife, who is Vietnamese, and today I'm going to be going over 5 things that have shocked me the most about Vietnam. The first thing that shocked me so much about Vietnam is just the geographical diversity of this country. I know that a lot of people, or at least myself, I had kind of a view of Vietnam as like just the flat rice paddies with like the person walking through it. I didn't necessarily know what to expect when I came to Vietnam, and I didn't realize how many different environments there actually is. Of course, they have the endless fields of rice paddies, and they're absolutely beautiful, but they also have rice terraces up on the side of a mountain. You can make your way up that mountain, be in the clouds, and actually reach the highest point in all of Southeast Asia. There are beaches that are absolutely gorgeous. They even have a desert, which I completely did not expect. You can wind your way down rivers and explore huge caves. I'm not even sure what to call Ha Long Bay, but you can do that as well. The point is, there are just so many striking, beautiful geographical features in Vietnam. Moving on to number 2 is maybe one of the things that's actually shocked me the most, and that is 1-year-old birthday parties. So we've all been to 1-year-old birthday parties. They're fun. You know, there's some balloons, there's cake, there's a baby eating a cake disgustingly. I mean, you know, very cute. There's nothing wrong with it. We had a similar party for my son. But when I saw the 1-year-old parties here in Vietnam, I mean, it really was just stunning. It's actually a party. There's drinking, they're having a loud, good time, and it's huge. It's almost like an unveiling to the world. This is my daughter, this is my son, and they've made it a year. It's just a huge celebration with entertainment that I wouldn't exactly say is 100% kid friendly, or at least it seems more geared towards adults. And coming from America, it was just really cool to see the differences in culture. And another thing about their parties in general is they can be like almost any day of the week. It doesn't necessarily like need to be like a Saturday, Sunday thing. It's not a weekend thing. It could be like 10 in the morning on a Thursday, and there's just a whole group of people that are getting together, drinking beer. And for me, it was really odd, but at the same time, I gotta say, I admired it, and I feel like maybe their work-life balance is a little better than ours, and maybe it's just something that we could learn from. Now, moving on to number 3, and away from something that's funny to something that is terrifying, and that is the way that they drive here in Vietnam. They whip in and out with the mopeds. It's completely congested at different times, and their rules of the road aren't exactly rules. It seems like they're more like guidelines. If you're in a car, you're pretty much just ruling the road, and people just need to move out of the way. You're just constantly going down, honking your horn. Also, if you get behind a big truck or another slow-moving vehicle, they are not going to wait there at all. They're going to be trying to get around that truck pretty much no matter the circumstances. And a lot of times you're on a road where maybe there's just like 2 lanes facing the opposite direction. So you're going in to oncoming traffic to get around a vehicle. And I don't know, I've been very sketched out. There's been multiple times I'll be in like the passenger seat and I'll just be grabbing hold of, you know, the armchair or the window because I'm like, oh gosh, we're not going to make it over in time. So far we have, but there's definitely been some close calls, and it's an experience that I've had that shocked me, that's terrified me, but I'm still here. Number 4 is something that maybe shouldn't have surprised me as much, but coming from America and basically learning about as much about Vietnam as well, the Vietnam War, I wasn't entirely sure how people would feel about me in Vietnam, but the people are extremely friendly here. They seem to just be a happy group of people. Now, of course, every situation's different. You can find happy and sad people and happy and mad people everywhere you go. That being said, as a whole, at least from my experience, everybody has been very warm, and kids and young people will come up to you trying to practice their English and have a conversation with you. And I don't know, I was just very happy and surprised, but happily surprised that I felt very welcome here in Vietnam. Now, moving on to number 5 may kind of contradict a little bit of what I just said in number 4. That is that they're extremely blunt here in Vietnam. And they don't mean it in a mean way, but it's just that's their culture. I've kind of always had a bit of a weight issue. I'm definitely big boned, especially like my stomach bone. It's the biggest. And I've definitely had issues with going back to America and, you know, getting involved with like the American food and gaining weight. And when I'll come back, often I'll hear basically like, oh, you got fat. You know, well, in their language, I'll hear like mop, which kind of means fat. And I'm like, oh, great. You know, they're talking about me. And those are just things that in America, we would never just like say, hey, you're getting fat. And again, they don't mean it in like a mean way. It's just the cultural difference. And maybe it's a good thing that they're more direct. But maybe never ask a Vietnamese person like, oh, if I put on a little weight, or am I looking fat in this shirt or dress? Maybe just keep that to yourself unless you want like a brutally honest opinion. But those are just 5 things that have shocked me about Vietnam. Drop in the comment section below and let me know, have you traveled to any other countries and maybe interacted with different cultures? And were there things about that experience that shocked you? If you've liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing. It really helps out the channel. Until next time, peace.